I is for Allah, nothing but Allah. Ba is the beginning of Bismillah. Ta is for taqwa, bewaring of Allah. And Tha is for thawab, a reward. Ja is for Jannah, the garden of paradise. Ha is for Hajj, the blessed pilgrimage. Kha is for Khatem, the seal of the prophethood given to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Da is for Deen, al-Islam, religion with Allah since time began. That is for dhikr, remembering Allah, and rise for the month of Ramadan.
Embracing Wakfu program for oneself or on behalf of the parent is Sadaqat Jariyah that we afford the dua Jannah be easily key into Wakfu program by bequeathing part of your estate, landed properties and other assets for the sake of Allah. Proceeds or rental fee from these assets shall be judiciously utilized by the tested and trusted Z&S Wakfu Foundation to bring succor to the needy and provision of social amenities and economic empowerment. You can also make a donation of a minimum of 10,000 naira that Z&S Wakfu Foundation will collect to procure assets that are economically viable. No doubt, Wakfu is highly rewarding. Contact Z&S Wakfu Foundation, Suite 12, Tafawa Balewa Square, Lagos. Call 080-3538-2911. With Wakfu, your asset will earn you Jannah. Be easily live. Be a partaker.
Zakat and Sadaqat Foundation. One sure way to elevate poverty and purify wealth is through regular payment of zakat. No wonder Zakat and Sadaqat Foundation is working day and night to enhance standard of living for all and sundry through economic empowerment, free healthcare delivery, support for widows and orphans, provision of iftar during Ramadan, mosque support. There is also work program through which Zakat and Sadaqat Foundation collects donation of land, building or other property and thereafter invest it while we use the profit to better the lot of indigent Muslims in the society. Please contact Suit 10, Tafawa Balewa Square, East Pavilion, opposite High Court, Lagos Island. Telephone 081-1819-3599 or 080-3538-2911. Website zakatandsadaqat.org.ng. Zakat and Sadaqat Foundation, caring, creating socio-economic balance.
Began, that is for dhikr, remembering Allah.
أعوذ بالله سميع عليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Viewers at home, we say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We sincerely thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who says in the Holy Quran, wa aqimu salata wa atu zakah. Keep up praying and give out zakat. We beseech His blessings upon the noblest creature Muhammad sallallahu that says, "Ma nakosat sadaqatun min mal," that zakat giving or act of charity does not decrease your worth. We were talking in terms of institutionalizing and standardizing the institution of zakat among the Muslims. We were looking at some points under that. We have looked at the dutiable items of zakat. We mentioned that it's also divided into two, the open and the hidden ones. The open ones are the farm produce and the cattle. The merchandise item, for example, and the cattle and the farm produce. The hidden ones, they are the gold, the silver, the cash, the banknotes. Those that the owners will not like people to know that he is having it. And even you may have him amidst you, you may not know that he is a billionaire or trillionaire. But by the time you see his action in terms of payment or in terms of executing some things on the society, financially, you discover that this is a rich, wealthy person. So we also talk about good administration, and we stopped on that. So we want to continue on the third aspect of perfect institutionalization of zakat, and that is the perfect distribution, perfect collection and distribution of zakat. When you select the able and trustworthy ones, the next thing is that to do what? Allah says in the Holy Quran, وَالْعَامِلِينَ عَلَيْهَا, and those who are employed in connection with the zakat. And Prophet ﷺ says, the zakat workers, al-amilun fi sabilillah, the zakat workers, al-amilun, those who are employed in connection with with zakat institution, fi sabilillah, they are in the cause of Allah.Meanwhile, hatta yarja, until he comes back home, until he returns back to his residences or to their residences or to their homes. So they are fi sabilillah because they are doing an essential job for the society or for the Muslim Ummah, to make sure that they are sacrificing their own time, their own energy to put smiles in the faces of others, to ensure that the society is tranquil, to ensure that Islam becomes firmly established on earth, with the institution of zakat being the central pillar. Third aspect of it, perfect collection and distribution, involves knowing what are the zakatable items. We mentioned that. We are coming to it. But these zakat workers, as we are talking about, that they need to perfect the collection and perfect the distribution, they need to be carefully selected. And if we look at perfecting their own act of collection and distribution, their own portion of logistics aspects of the collection and distribution, whatever must happen to be their expenses, must not be beyond 1/8, which is about 12.5% of the income. But in most cases, if the workers are not conscious enough, they may even spend more than that. They may spend between 30, 40, 50%, and they will still justify their actions. But in Islam, according to Holy Prophet ﷺ, majority of the workers would be volunteers. Those will be doing it fi sabilillah. The ones that will be doing it 24 hours, 24/7, these ones are the only ones you pay for, the technocrats, some individuals who are employed to perform a specific and very essential work in the act of administering, focus on the seven other areas of recipients: the poor, the needy, those whose hearts are to be reconciled, those in bondage, those in debt, and fi sabilillah, and those the wayfarers. These remaining 7, if we are perfecting the administration of zakat, they must be properly taken care of, and the workers must make sure that they reduce their own logistic expenses to the barest minimum, so that they can have perfect collection and perfect distribution in the acts of administering and the act of standardizing the collection and distribution of zakat. Fourth aspect of it is to create an enabling environment for the collection and distribution of zakat. An enabling environment as how? You need a platform. You must have a platform for the collection of this zakat and distributing it to people. If you don't have a viable platform and good environment that could enable you collect, you distribute it in a perfect form, you may not have good administration, or you may not have good institution of zakat in the society. What did the Holy Prophet ﷺ did to ensure that he has zakat collected and distributed? He created an enabling environment. He trained Muslims, and then he made them believe that it's a pillar of Islam. He aroused their interest, and he let them know what happens. So he created a lot of awareness to ensure that they know what is the reward in the payment, what is the punishment in non-payment, and what is the benefit here on earth, and what is the blissful enjoyment they will have in the day of judgment, and what is going to be their reward in Al-Jannah, and protection from the wrath of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the fire of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the day of judgment. All these creating an enabling environment or a good platform for the collection and distribution. It may be through a foundation, through a commission, through a society, an Islamic society. It could be through an arm of government or a parastatal. It could be through ministry. Some Muslim countries, they have a ministry for Islamic affairs and endowments, through which they use it to serve as a platform for the collection of zakat, sadaqat, and awqaf. And you see them doing well in the society. So if we have an enabling environment, then definitely we shall have a zakat institutionalized. And finally, zakat flourish with favorable fatwa, favorable scholarly opinions, scholars' decisions. See, we need ulama, the scholars who will understand this zakat in the modern language and present it to people so much comprehensively, so that we have enough of people who will pay zakat, rather than people who will probably disturb others from payment. Some people, by the time you are telling them that this is a better window, usable for the collection of zakat, for example, like that of salary of as collecting zakat from all earnings of a Muslim, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all legal earnings of a Muslim, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put it, that وَفِي أَمْوَالِهِمْ حَقٌّ مَعْلُومٌ لِلسَّائِلِ وَالْمَحْرُومِ, that in all their wealth there is a due, collectible as zakat and charities to benefit others who are have-nots, who are less privileged in the society. So some ulamas will uphold this, while some you see some others who will not uphold this. So for us to have zakat flourished, better institutionalized in our society, we need favorable fatwa. We do not need to stick ourselves to one school of thought, but rather look at the prophetic school of thought, the Sahaba school of thought, and the Jami' al-Madhahib, Fiqh al-Mazahib, understanding all other school of thoughts that probably emanated from the first two we have mentioned. We pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the better institutionalization of zakat and sadaqat in our society, and all that are working in this field, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward them abundantly. And for those of you who are our audience and viewers, we pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant you to be one of the best tools Allah will use in perfecting the institutionalization of zakat in our society. To this end, I say once again, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Began, that is for dhikr, remembering Allah.
Every time you feel
He wants to make Nigeria economy better. She hates injustice and wants to stand for those who cannot stand for themselves. He believes Nigeria refineries can work. He wants to make that change. It takes true character to make a better public service. She wants to make a public servant. But it is not enough to dream. We need to turn dreams into reality, and Start Well Schools is the place to start.
One of the missions of Start Well School is to provide qualitative education with a pristine Islamic teaching that meets this ever-dynamic world. And to the glory of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we can beat our chest over it that we have produced those who have these qualities.
when somebody finishes in this school, he's an ambassador of Islam. We will have practiced Islam within us. So by the time he gets out, he's used to the way of life. So we just want Muslims that will represent us Islamically in the global world.
Enroll your child today at Startwell Schools, located at 15/19 Karim Street, Agbede Meeting, Asala Bus Stop, Agric, Ikorodu, Lagos. For more information, please call Startwell Schools. Aspire, acquire, achieve.
Startwell School is the best among equal.
Began, that is for dhikr, remembering Allah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's my pleasure to welcome you to your program, our program that we have been having for years. And in this episode, we'll be looking at how we'll be going back to school after a long holiday. Most of our children are in holiday right now, and many of the parents are preparing to get them back to school. At Zakat and Sadaqat Foundation is one of important programs for us, because if it's not properly done, there will be many children that will not have opportunity of going back to school. So we have staged this program to address usual challenges that accompany going back to school at time like this. At time like this, when the wealthy people have already gotten their children ready to resume in terms of school fees, in terms of material needed, in terms of book, textbook, biro, pencil, and so on and so forth. All these are far beyond the reach of many people in our midst. And with your support, with the support of the wealthy Muslims in our community, we've been able to support quite a number of children back to school over the year. And this time around, in our usual approach, we are looking at helping 2,000 children back to school across our country. And to go back to school, we all know what it takes, what it entails. Part of it is what I've earlier mentioned. We need to cater for their school fees. We need to buy them equipment. We need to get them bag. We need to get them textbook. We need to get them exercise book and writing materials. All these are what is required to return children back to school. And as we used to do, we encourage indigent, orphan, and less privileged members in our society to apply. Many people have applied, and we have been able to shortlist some indigents, some orphans, and some other members that are in their need of this support. This year, we are going to return 2,000 children back to school, and we are going to give them bag. We are going to give them exercise books. We are going to provide them with writing material, that is pencil, biro, cleaner, ruler, and so on and so forth. For an average children in primary school in Nigeria today, we have pencil down 10,000 naira to take care of these returning back to school items. And we shall be very, very grateful if you can be part of this exercise, knowing fully well that when you educate a child, it's like you are educating the whole nation. There are so many benefits for you to take part in this exercise. One of them is you are helping the country to reduce the number of out-of-school children. Another important thing is you are equally helping this country to prevent children going to crime. Because if they don't go back to school, where would they go to? So we are preventing them from going to crime by engaging them usefully at their age that they are going to be in school. We are equally promoting love among our children. Those who don't have the means, and we are able to provide means for them to be in school with the children of the parent that have the means. We are promoting a healthy environment where the children will see themselves as friends of one another, and nobody will be envying one another if we are able to go with this exercise. Equally, it's important to know that when you do this, you are equally preparing the nation for more productivity. Because when these children invariably get higher education, they get secondary education and higher education, they will also be contributing their own quota to the development of the country. And we all know that country with number of educated people usually will have less crime in that environment. And this is what you will be promoting when you support an indigent or orphan to go back to school. The amount, as I've said, is just 10,000 naira, which I know is a token change for quite a number of people in the country. And we are only targeting just 2,000 children that we have penciled down. And this will cost roughly about 20 million. It is what these children need at this point in time. We should be able to do more than that if we are able to get the fund. But for now, minimally, we are saying, let us get this exercise book, these bags, this biro, pencil, just essential items that a child will need to keep his education. And definitely you'll be part of those who are promoting peace in our society. You are promoting education, you are promoting love, and you are preventing hatred when you embark in this particular exercise. Our approach in disbursement of this item is such that we want to reach out to as many states as possible, and we are going to reach out to as many children as possible, especially the poor children, the less privileged members in society, the orphans among them are the ones that we are targeting in this disbursement. We will assemble the children in a particular local government, in a particular place where their items will be given to them. We want to reduce the cost of transportation to the barest minimum for this poor family, and that's why we are taking it closer to their own local government, so that it just come there and they will collect the item, and that means they are ready to go back to school. If you look at our country now, you will be surprised that we have higher number of dropouts in primary school, secondary school, and this is one of the ways to reduce this number so that you can have more children in school. As we are doing this, we will be very, very happy to be part of this exercise. We'll be very happy to have you as one of the members that will support this exercise. Don't forget, Zakat and Sadaqat Foundation has been doing this, and this is not the first time, and with your support we will continue to engage more in this direction so that the number of out-of-school children will be reducing as we continue, and hopefully one day Nigeria will be counted among this country where the number of out of the school is very low, and that's our target. It's an effort to support the government, it's an effort to support the well-to-do in our society, because if we have this opportunity, the poor people, the less member in our society will also have a way by which their children are well educated and they can be part of the larger society, contributing their own quota to the development of our own country. So until next week, when we'll be moving, we'll be talking about more on this. I'm yours sincerely, Sulayman Olagunju for Zakat and Sadaqat Foundation.
Began, that is for dhikr, remembering Allah.
Work Wakfu. Embracing Wakfu program for oneself or on behalf of the parent is Sadaqat to Jariyah that we afford the dua Jannah bi-iznillah. Key into Wakfu program by bequeathing part of your estate, landed properties and other assets for the sake of Allah. Proceeds or rental fee from this asset shall be judiciously utilized by the tested and trusted Z&S Wakfu Foundation to bring succor to the needy and provision of social amenities and economic empowerment. You can also make a donation of a minimum of 10,000 naira that Z&S Wakfu Foundation will collate to procure assets that are economically viable. No doubt, Wakfu is highly rewarding. Contact Z&S Wakfu Foundation, Suite 12, Tafawa Balewa Square, Lagos. Call 080-3538-2911. With Wakfu, your asset will earn you Jannah. Be easy in life. Be a partaker.
Zakat and Sadaqat Foundation. One sure way to elevate poverty and purify wealth is through regular payment of zakat. No wonder Zakat and Sadaqat Foundation is working day and night to enhance standard of living for all and sundry through economic empowerment, free healthcare delivery, support for widows and orphans, provision of iftar during Ramadan, mosque support. There is also work program through which Zakat and Sadaqat Foundation collects donation of land, building or other property and thereafter invest it while we use the profit to better the lot of indigent Muslims in the society. Please contact Suite 10, Tafawa Balewa Square, East Pavilion, opposite High Court, Lagos Island. Telephone 081-1819-3599 or 080-3538-2911. Website zakatandsadaqat.org.ng. Zakat and Sadaqat Foundation, caring, creating socio-economic balance.
Began, that is for dhikr, remembering Allah.